Greetings, fellow meatbags. For the past week or so, Matthew has been proving that he's not exactly a genius when it comes to figuring fairly basic things out. So I thought it might be fun to look back on all the reasons he's given us to not take him seriously in the slightest. We begin with my personal favorite, which I like to call obvious inversion ignored.
Have a look at Matty's evidence that the NSF was fudging photos in a scientific paper. Right away, we could spot something obviously wrong based strictly on already having seen the photos in question. Can you tell what's wrong with these pictures?
We're willing to bet you absolutely can, which already proves you're a better observer than he is. Two things jump right out. First, the orange sky, and second, how bright the supposed ice is. Sure, the sky on Earth gets to be orange sometimes. Around dawn and dusk especially. However, anyone who's actually witnessed dawn or dusk has also noted that the ground is usually kind of dark. That's because the sun is no longer directly illuminating it. In these pictures, though, we have ultra-bright ice. Weird, right?
Turns out Matthew's PDF viewer was reversing the color in PDF documents like the report I linked him to, so when he pulled it up, all colors were reversed in the color palette. It wasn't just these photos, it was the entire thing, which Matthew and Grok took to be something nefarious on the part of the NSF. And Grok went out of its way to make up a weird and bogus technical explanation about how enhanced photos tend to have their color reverse when someone else tries editing them. No, Grok, that's just not how it works. Changing brightness, exposure, and so forth does not predispose an image to reverse its color palette.
And hey, don't forget the time he and Grok screwed up identification of Discovery Hut.
Oh yes, of course. How could we ever forget that little embarrassment on their part? Matthew thinks McMurdo Station is some kind of conspiracy on its own, so he got really excited when he spotted what he thought was a tiki hut. Grok also said the structure looked out of place and suspicious. It's easy to imagine Matty felt like he had actually found a kink in the conspiracy. He was probably thrilled when Grok confirmed that the structure didn't belong there. Except it totally did belong there. This is Discovery Hut. It was built during a British expedition near the turn of the last century by men under the command of Robert Falcon Scott, an Antarctic explorer who would later die after reaching the South Pole.
My favorite is his ridiculous expedition, planned for later this year or early 2027, to ASPA Zone 172. ASPA stands for Antarctic Specially Protected Area. The title itself implies that entry is restricted. Specially Protected Area? Duh!
Good point. Indeed, Matty wants to see blood falls and study the bacteria which are able to survive in freezing temperatures. And he wants to do it non-invasively. This is incredibly stupid for many reasons. Matthew has no formal training, which shows in his laughably naive belief that the bacteria can be directly studied. Matty, they live under the glacier. The iron-rich discharge is mostly just bacteria poop. To see actual living bacteria, you'd need to drill into the brine pools beneath Taylor Glacier. And that doofus is incredibly invasive, especially considering the fact that oxygen kills this particular bacterial strain. For what it's worth, though, I don't think that's why he wants to go. That's probably his absurdly stupid cover story, and he plans on doing something involving flat earth bullshit. When he was going over his so-called itinerary, I noted he planned to stop somewhere in Europe for quote-unquote polar training. He tried to justify it as being on his way to New Zealand from the east coast of the United States. The only way that could be true is if one assumes a flat earth based on map projections like this.
We went ahead and plotted the courses. Turns out, Matty's route via Europe is about twice as far as simply heading southwest from his origin.
But that's not all. Let's not forget he tried to charter a helicopter from New Zealand to Antarctica. He thought he could take a commercial Antarctic cruise, then have a chopper from GCH Aviation meet him at McMurdo. From there, he'd fly out to Blood Falls and camp for 10 days. He then must have either thought he could fly back to New Zealand on the chopper, or that he could get back on the ship when he was finished. Two major problems he overlooked are, 1. GCH doesn't have a helicopter capable of flying that far, over 2,000 miles, one way. 2. The cruise line would almost certainly both not be okay with someone leaving the group, nor would they hang around and wait for him. At this point, it's important to understand I'm not simply dunking on a dumb guy, I'm explaining why he shouldn't be trusted as a researcher. Nor should Grok, come to think of it. Yesterday, Maddie posted comparison photos of him and his brother. Grok agreed that his brother didn't look like him and that he didn't look like his parents. Meanwhile, the resemblance is pretty much on par with the Estevez family. Fun fact, Martin and Charlie Sheen's real last name is Estevez. I'm not going to show any of the photos Matthew did out of consideration to his brother and parents. However, please believe me when I say that Matthew, his brother, and their father have an even stronger family resemblance than these three people.
Lastly, we want to show you Matthew screwing up something even more obvious than the color-reversed photos. Lately, he's decided that his prom date was planted to ruin his life, or something, and he cited his own unique brand of proof to back that up. On LinkedIn, the site makes suggestions for folks you might want to follow. While Matthew was looking at his prom date's page, LinkedIn said that people who follow his date also follow several other people. Matty saw this as direct evidence his former date was a high-level network agent, simply because other people follow both her and Barack Obama. This isn't just misunderstanding site suggestions, it's actively incorporating them as fact into an insane conspiracy theory.
There's even more, but honestly, it's starting to feel like overkill. A reasonable person should not take his claims as anything but the ravings of a broken, mentally ill man who can't deal with the fact that life left him behind. The facts are simple. He's obviously unpleasant to be around, and this has driven people away his entire life. It's not too late for him to turn things around, except doing so would mean acknowledging he's the cause of the vast majority of his own problems. And accountability is not something Matthew David Weider does. At least, not when it comes to things that matter,